One of the biggest mistakes people make when selling their homes is assuming they'll sell for top dollar, as if it's a given. But selling for top dollar is never guaranteed. In fact, countless homes sell for less than they could have every single day. The reason this happens is simple. The way a home is sold has a huge impact on the selling price, and if you go about selling your home the wrong way, it will cost you money, sometimes a great deal of it. In this video, I'll explain the differences between selling your home and selling it for top dollar, and share with you the one method of home selling that's designed from start to finish to sell your home for as much as humanly possible. I've included 6 quick examples to show some of the ways it can increase your selling price in surprising and substantial ways. Hi, and welcome to Optimal Real Estate. I'm Wilson Van Law, a real estate agent who specializes in selling homes for top dollar, optimizing the buying process, and demystifying the real estate industry. The channel is home to everything I've learned either the hard way or from experts in over 20 years of buying, renovating, and selling homes, and an agent focused on optimizing my clients' outcomes, not just on sales. This is the second video in a series on selling your home for top dollar and what's called an optimal sale. The series gives you everything you need to know about home selling in the industry to sell your home for absolute top dollar, something you can never take for granted. You can find the links to the other videos in the description. The good news about selling for top dollar is that it's predictable. It follows the best practices of sales, marketing, and negotiating that are known to increase what anything sells for, including your home. The bad news is that not everyone knows or follows these practices. And worse yet, the industry offers us agents huge financial incentives not to. I'll explain how later in the video. So let's get to it. The second tip to an optimal sale is that selling a home for top dollar is never guaranteed, no matter the state of the market. That's because selling for top dollar doesn't just happen, but it is something you can make happen. While the market is by far the biggest factor in a selling price, it's not close to being the only one. Instead, each step in the selling process from before a home is on the market until it is sold can either make or cost you money, sometimes a great deal of it. What makes this easier is there are basically just 2 ways to sell a home. You just have to use the right one. With the first method, which is used in the typical industry sale, the goal is selling, and selling as quickly as possible. It relies almost exclusively on the current real estate market to determine the selling price. The second method, called an optimal sale, doesn't just aim to sell a home, but to sell it for top dollar. And it doesn't just allow the current market to dictate the selling price. Instead, it also uses the best methods of sales, marketing, and negotiating, methods that can and do increase selling prices in substantial ways. And here's where things get confusing for most people, at least if this is their first video on the channel. All of what you're about to hear is true. You can Google it yourself if you'd like, but you probably haven't heard any of it before, and much or all of it will likely surprise you. So much so that you might not believe it at first or think it can't affect you personally. But as you'll soon learn, it can and it does. It profoundly affects anyone who buys and sells a home. I'll show you how with 6 quick examples a bit later in the video, examples that will show you that the way your home is sold can easily make or cost you a great deal of money. The reason the industry uses the first method, where selling is the goal, and not the second, where selling for top dollar is the goal, is because the industry has no interest or obligation in selling homes for top dollar, and it never has. But most importantly, it has huge financial incentives not to. If it focuses on anything but sales volume, it loses money, as much as 50% on every sale. So instead of trying to sell homes for top dollar, it's trying to give itself the best chance to double its income on every home it sells, which is something it does every day and is constantly trying to find new ways to make sure it happens more often. Because of that, many of the methods used in the typical industry sale make selling for top dollar all but impossible. While that might sound insane to you right now, very soon it won't. And as you'll see, in any market, the difference between selling and selling for top dollar is almost always substantial and quite often staggering. Here are 6 examples showing you how this is the case. When they surprise you, and they likely will, keep in mind the only reason you don't know them already is because the industry has no interest in telling you. And why would it? It owes you nothing beyond a sale, and it can reduce its profits by half if it focuses on your outcomes and not its own. In the video on negotiating, I show you how a simple change in how your home sale is negotiated can increase your selling price by as much as 9.6%. That number comes from studies done in the branch of economics called auction theory, and the reason I know it is because your home sale is in fact an auction, and it's been studied and tested to find which method is best at raising selling prices. The method you'll learn in the video feels no different to you as a seller, and I use it in every optimal sale. In one instance, when I first tested it, I was able to raise the selling price 10.93% above what I'd gotten with Best and Final. As an added bonus, buyers like it much better than Best and Final, so it's a win-win. Though long known to be much better at increasing selling prices, it's not commonly used in the industry. If selling for top dollar were the goal, I have no doubt that it would be. Selling in one day, long seen as a huge win, is a win for an industry based on sales volume. But for a seller, it means there's basically no way you sold for top dollar and a very good chance you didn't come close. And here are the many reasons why. The first thing that many people think when they hear that is that it's just not possible, because as we all know, homes have been selling for record numbers. But those record numbers reflect the state of the market. And if the homes weren't sold using the methods you're learning about, the chances of them selling for top dollar is close to zero. The increased selling prices brought about by the negotiating method you just learned aren't theoretical. If you don't use it, you're risking many tens of thousands of dollars, even if you get offers that seem at the time incredible. And that's just one part of an optimal sale. It also means the best methods of sales and marketing weren't used either, since both take longer than 1 or 2 days to be effective. And when used properly, they are extremely effective. Selling in one day allows an incredibly short window in the market to dictate the selling price. People can get what seem like amazing offers in just one day, but they'd almost certainly sell for a whole lot more if their homes were sold like the sales, marketing, and negotiating jobs that they actually are. An increasingly common way to not sell for top dollar and for the industry to get both sides of a deal is to sell a home in something called an off-market sale. An off-market sale is a sale where an agent is contacted to sell a home and he finds a buyer without officially putting the home on the market. If your goal is selling for top dollar, this is lunacy. Selling for top dollar in an off-market sale is about as likely as you seeing a black swan juggle. Unless you have a really compelling reason to keep your home sale private, you're almost certainly going to be throwing away a ton of money. Starting with the antiquated notion that your agent should be bringing you a buyer, not attracting as many buyers as possible with an intelligent and thoughtful positioning, sales, and marketing strategy. No home is immune to the immense power of sales, marketing, and negotiating. Not one. Selling for over asking, something that's measured and bragged about every single day, is in fact meaningless if your goal is selling for top dollar. And thinking it's vitally important actually hurts you in a variety of different ways, too many to mention in this short section. You can sell for way over asking and easily leave many tens of thousands of dollars on the table, and in some cases as much as 6 figures. I'll give you 2 6-figure examples in the video. No matter what you think or what the industry tells you, all agents aren't the same, and nothing matters more to selling for top dollar than having the right one. I know that as an agent that sounds horribly self-serving, but it's also true. So what's an agent? An agent is a licensed salesperson with almost zero practical training. If we become experts at anything, it's on us. We're not trained at selling homes for top dollar and can double our income by not doing so. While all of that is true, it doesn't negate anything I've said about the importance of having the right agent. So you need to find an agent who knows and follows all the steps of an optimal sale, and only some of them are mentioned in this video, or you're at risk of leaving a tremendous amount of money on the table when you sell. This includes your agent working for your bottom line, not just a sale, or worse yet, trying to get both sides of the deal by representing both you and the buyer. There are almost countless ways to make it more likely for us agents to get both sides of the deal. You have to be aware of all of them and make sure none of them happen. And obviously your agent has to be fully on board with all of this. Keep in mind that just because an agent sells a lot of homes in no way means that he's sold even one of them for top dollar. Another key to selling for top dollar is that you need to treat each qualified buyer as if they're the best ones, because in fact they might be. If you don't, this can even be a 6-figure mistake. Here's why. In my experience, the difference between 2 solid offers has been $160,000. The lower offer was actually solid and fully in line with the comps. The second was fantastic, and from someone who'd been actively looking for a home for over a year and really wanted the home. Had I sold quickly or not accommodated the buyers on their schedules, my seller could never have seen that money. They wouldn't have even known it existed. And the truth is, getting in to show many homes is really, really hard, and I mean brutal. And treating buyers that way is no way to sell a home for even close to top dollar. Each offer can increase your selling price, even the worst one, and just one can boost it by 6 figures without even negotiating. And when representing buyers, too often my requests for showings are seen as a nuisance, not an opportunity for the sellers to get more for their homes. And this happens most often on higher end homes. To sell for top dollar, every request for a showing should go through an app so you, as the seller, get a text each time someone wants to see your home. That's the only way you know they're being accommodated. I treat every buyer as if they might be the best one, and know each one is important, but I still ask my sellers to use the app, because open communication and transparency is key to an optimal sale. So that's 6 examples, and there are many more, of how not selling your home for top dollar in an optimal sale can and will hurt you. You've likely not heard most of them before, but that shouldn't surprise you. As you're now aware, the industry has no obligation to sell homes for top dollar and loses money by trying to do so. So most of what it tells you is designed to get you as a client and increase its sales volume. This isn't saying anything nefarious about the industry. This is what all brokers in all industries do. The real estate industry is no different. It's just something you need to be aware of if you want to have the best best outcomes when selling or buying. So that's the video on an optimal sale that shows you the difference between selling your home and selling it for top dollar, and the second video in the series. I really hope it helped. To learn more, you can watch the full videos on each of the tips I mentioned, as well as those that I didn't mention. The links to all of those are in the description. To make all of this easier, I've also included a link to a guide with all the steps to an optimal sale in the description as well. It has everything you need to know and do to sell your home for absolute top dollar. If you'd like to talk with me about selling your home optimally on Long Island or in the city, you can reach me through the email address in the description. If you're looking for an agent who follows the practices of an optimal sale but live elsewhere, I would be happy to help with that as well. If you found value in the video, please like it. For more tips demystifying the real estate industry when selling or buying, just subscribe to the channel. And if the video did help, please share it with anyone you think it might help as well. See you in the next video.